John Sloan speaking to Cage Warriors President Graham Boylan ahead of Cage Warriors 104 that goes down tomorrow night, headlined by Jack Shore defending his bantamweight title against Scott Malone here at the Viola Arena in Cardiff. Graham, this is the third time you've been at this arena in the space of 7 months. How good does it feel to come back to Cardiff and put on another stacked card for these fans?
Cardiff is a good home for Cage Warriors, so to come back here and have a pretty much sold out arena again, it's great for the brand. I think what's even better for the brand is that we've got two of the best bantamweights in Europe right now going head to head for the Cage Warriors belt tomorrow night, and for me it's something that really shows what mixed martial arts is. We've got two of the best at their peak, not even at their peak, they're below their peak, they're younger, going at it in times in their careers when in other sports they might be guided away from each other to save for a bigger fight down the line. So to come into, like I said, practically sold out arena, these two guys headline the card, it's amazing for us, Cage Warriors, and it's amazing for them, the exposure they're going to get from this fight.
The comparisons have been made between the rise of popularity for Jack Shore in Wales and Conor McGregor in Ireland. You're obviously one of the few people that have witnessed both of them firsthand, close up. How much does this current situation resemble that of Conor's in Ireland?
Different times, the sport has obviously grown tenfold since then. Conor was doing, an arena of 800 people sold out back then. Jack's doing arenas of 3,500 people sold out now. But there's 5 years difference between them, and the sport has grown as well. With the following of Jack Shore in Wales is that of a McGregor style following. They're fanatical here. They've got tattoos of Jack Shore's on fire on their heads, their ankles, their arses, for all I know. But they're fanatical in their support for Jack. And as far as I know, some of the people who are doing it, they're not even friends of his, they're just Welsh. They're countrymen of his. So every little tick in the box to put them together is there.
What do you think contributes to the popularity of Jack Shore? Because he is one of those enticing characters, but he's different from a lot of popular figures in mixed martial arts. I mean, when you compare him and Conor, their fighting styles completely contrasting, personalities completely contrasting. What do you think has kind of contributed to the rise of his popularity here?
I would think it's just the Welsh getting behind their own, and Jack is I look at Jack a little bit like George St. Pierre.
The humility.
He's got the same type of characteristics. He's not destroyed in tattoos. He's not loud. He's not brash. He's kind of like the guy next door. But then as soon as that octagon door closes, you've got a world champion on your hands, and they're different kettles of fish. And I think that's what appeals to them. And I think it's just the Welsh people are getting behind that kid who's grown up here, is trained here, has been in the gyms around here all his life. The people have got behind him here, and it's just grown and grown and grown, So
yeah. Yeah, at Cage Warriors 100, when you spoke to Peter Carroll the week before, you said that Aaron Khalid versus Hakan Foss was a fight that was kind of under the radar a bit and it was going to deliver, which inevitably it did. Which fights are you most excited for, excluding the main event tomorrow night?
I'm excited for all the fights, but if you ask me to pinpoint one that's properly got my attention, I think what's going to be a real scrap is Josh and Chris. I think that's going to be something that people may be overlooking. I think that's potential fireworks. But sometimes you put fights together and what you think is potential fireworks, they could cancel each other out in style. So I do believe there's fireworks written on that fight.
I'm 19 years old, so I'm just a little bit too young to have remembered Tom Kong Watson in his prime when he was tearing up the European scene. How significant is his return tomorrow night, and how excited are you to have him here on Cage Warriors in the co-main?
I'm super excited to see which Tom steps into the Cage Warriors outfit.
I mean, he looked good just then, physically.
Because if the Tom, or any part of the Tom that we've seen in the past, is there tomorrow night, then the welterweight division has got a serious new contender in the mix. Tom has had an amazing career. Massive fan following. He's a very exciting fighter to watch. I'm a fan of Tom. So to have him with Cage Warriors and about to step in and make his debut with Cage Warriors on the Cage Warriors platform is super exciting for us. So I think not just me, but I think everybody in the game, they're all interested to know which Tom is stepping in there tomorrow night. You know, it could be Tom, version 2 of Tom. It could be a Tom that maybe shouldn't have come back. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. And that's the beauty about tomorrow night. We're going to find out.
Well, you've not given him an easy fight. You know, Aaron Khalid on a 3-fight win streak, 2 in Cage Warriors in this very arena. It's not a warm-up fight by any means.
It's not a warm-up fight at all. Aaron's on his way up. You know, he's on a good win streak. He's had some solid tests. You know, I think he's draw with Ross Houston twice. He was the current Cage Warriors champion. Yeah. That was another cancel out of styles, and they just couldn't finish each other. There was decisions on there. So yeah, Tom's been in with a lot of heavy people too. So Tom's no joke when it comes to this. So even though Aaron's, you may say it's not a warm-up fight for Tom, this is also Aaron's biggest fight of his career.
Yeah.
You know, if he beats Tom tomorrow, you know, that puts him right up there. Puts a name out for him.
Completely. Last couple of things and I'll let you go because I know you're a busy man. I want to talk a little bit about Cage Warriors 106. 5 titles on the line. Cage Warriors 100, that was kind of branded the most stacked card to date. I think this kind of tops it and goes beyond even topping it. What was the reasoning behind putting those 5 title fights on the line in London in June?
We've since 2010, when I took over Cage Warriors, we've always spoke of a Night of Champions, where we would just do all title fights. And after Cage Warriors 100 being the biggest card we've done, it's kind of like a personal best, right? You just got to step it up every time, and it's like, where do we go from there? Cage Warriors was huge. It was a centenary show. It was a sellout arena. There were amazing fights, amazing numbers on TV. And it's like, what do we do now? How do we step this up? And that Night of Champions has been in the back of my mind for a good 8-9 years. But it just never came round to the right time to do it. And June 29th, live from the Apollo in London, you know, it's an iconic venue. They've never had MMA before. There's hardly any MMA in West London alone, you know, and we're bringing Cage Warriors for the first time into an iconic venue, and it's going to be live from the Apollo, a Night of Champions. There's actually 6 title fights on the card, so we're super excited about it.
Donovan Desmay didn't make it to the weigh-ins this morning. Any concern that might affect the fight tomorrow night? Are you confident you've still got that fight for sure on the main card?
That fight will be fine. It was they had an issue getting on the flight last night.
Right.
There was some ticket discrepancy between names on the tickets, so they wouldn't let Donovan fly. So we had to fly him in this morning. He's cutting weight. He's going to be fine. That fight will happen.
Right, my final question for you today is just Cage Warriors. It's kind of deemed to be the #1 promotion in Europe, but you've got a lot of competition, you know, in recent months. I won't name any organisations, but one particularly. So the question I have for you is, how does Cage Warriors pitch itself effectively as the place to be for any European prospects?
It's a pretty straightforward answer for me personally, and for any fighters obviously I would be involved with outside the Cage Warriors. There are 2 questions to ask a fighter, and this relates back to Cage Warriors and why people should be here. One is the fighter in question wanting to be the best in the world and fight the best in the world and go to the biggest platform in the world. If he or she is, then there is no question about it. Cage Warriors is the platform we need to be on. It's no secret that Cage Warriors creates champions, and champions go on to the UFC. When you reverse that round, if the fighter is not interested in being the best in the world, the fighter is not interested in fighting on the best platform in the world, and the fighter is probably interested in, I don't know, making local ticket money and fighting on smaller shows or shows that they're not going to be fighting the best in the world, then Cage Warriors is not the place for them. If you want to be the best in the world, this is where the best in Europe are fighting now. If you want to be an average fighter making decent money on a show that's not the best in the world, you can never say you fought in the best in the world, then other promotions are for you. We're not for it. This is where you need to be if you want to be the best in the world. Get to the best platform in the world and fight the best athletes in the world, which is what I believe a fighter is. They want to constantly test themselves. This is where it starts.
Graham, thanks so much for your time.
Take care.